everyone. My name is Sarah Bailey. So nice to meet you. Today, we are going to have a quick coffee chat with myself, Sarah. A little bit about me. So, I'm Sarah Bailey. I'm a solutions architect at GitLab. I live in very cold today near Chicago, Illinois. And what is a coffee chat without talking a little bit about coffee? So, I've included my favorite coffee at the bottom of the screen. If you guys like a good Hawaiian coffee, I highly recommend. I have Copper Moon Hawaiian Hazelnut coffee. It's my absolute favorite. I love it. So feel free to go grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, get some water, and let's get started on the topic all about merge request. Cheers! All right. So, a little more about me is I was actually a customer of GitLab before I was a solutions architect at GitLab. So, I have been able to do about everything with GitLab from test automation to getting to the cloud, to big data, to even some digital transformations. I loved the GitLab tool so much that I became a solutions architect to show you the value of GitLab and also to show you all the cool things that you may have never seen before. And one of my favorite things to talk about is that merge request. A couple things about this is at the ultimate tier, so this is the highest tier that GitLab has, and this is all the amazing features. So if you and your organization are thinking about looking into security vulnerabilities, if you're thinking about that auto compliance, the ultimate tier is the way to go. And the best part about it, in my opinion, is the merge request. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, let me get my coffee doc agenda. All right, so what's a better agenda than within GitLab? So today we are going to show you a little sneak peek of what that ultimate pipeline looks like and all those security scanners and that visual of that pipeline. And then we're going to take that pipeline and show you the merge request, that all in one place where everything is, and for great collaboration and of course, developer productivity. Let me dive in. All right, so right now you're looking at what we call the Ondo DevOps pipeline. And what is that? Well, that's okay. I'm here to tell you. So Ondo DevOps takes your code and it Dockerizes it, or I like to say throws it into a bubble. So it throws it into that bubble and then it just beats it up. So it takes all of our analyzers and then just beats it up and makes sure that code is good to go. So the first thing it does is it checks to see what language is inside that code. And then being GitLab and making life easier for everyone, we auto-populate all of the analyzers associated with that code. So for this example, we are looking at Python code. So the first thing it does is says, hey, I see Python. Here is all the analyzers associated with it. So we have Bandit, which is our SAST analyzer that populates because of the Python. And then we go into code quality. Code quality is just a quick run through of your code, looking for any issues, looking for any garbage code to tell you. But one really cool thing about code quality, especially in the pipeline, is it will not just check your code, but it'll actually do a compare of how it ran before. So if you're running your code maybe every day, every week, every month, it's going to check it how it is, the code quality today, but it's also going to check it how it was. So it will tell you if your code quality has degraded. You don't want to be the developer that throws in any bad code. And now this gives you that extra check to say, hey, how is my code from the last time it was ran? And if it's bad, it tells you why, where, and how to go fix it. So it gives you that instant feedback and knowledge so you can be able to fix your issues before it hits production. And as you know, it's 6 times cheaper to fix your code at developer level than in production. Next thing, it went through my code and said, hey, I found some containers. So we now have our container scanning, looking for any leaks, looking for any issues within your containers. It also adds a SaaS linter. And then it goes into a little fun thing. If you guys are looking into compliance, we actually have an auto compliance feature within Ondo DevOps. So what it does is it goes into your code, looks for any dependencies, looks for any licenses, and auto populates a dashboard for your organization to go through and say, hey, I allow this dependency, I allow this license, I don't allow this license, I don't allow this dependency. And now every time you commit code and it sees those licenses, it will tell you, hey, this is allowed or this is denied. You might need to have somebody look at that. I'll make sure to show you that in the merge request. The next one is secret detection. Secret detection is a fun one. It goes in, looks for any issues if you have AWS keys, if you have passwords. Another fun is you can actually customize it and program it to look for social security numbers, credit cards, any kind of format it can look for, so for that extra protection. And then we have a SEMGRAP SAS. Since I'm speeding through this, I will have another video all about DevOps, but I'm just going to tell you all these quick stages in rapid time. All right, so the review state is that live because you're in that container. You can actually see your changes live. Best example, if you have a background and you change it from white to purple, you can actually see the purple background in the review state. Now we go into that dynamic testing. This is a big wow for the ultimate tier. You can do on-demand dash scans, you can do API dash scans, and of course you can do dash scans within your pipeline. And it gives you the ability to just have that beautiful web crawler and check for all your links, check for all your issues by using our DAST. And because I love a good test automation, I've actually included a test automation state here because we are in the container. You've already committed your code and now you can actually test it live. So this is a quick Selenium test. It goes in, logs in, happy path, unhappy path. But every time the code is committed, it will have this test automation. Why this is so wonderful and why I love to talk about it is because this is bringing those barriers down between developers and QA. It's all in one spot. It's all visible. You don't have to have a million UIs to look at. It's all together. And then we do a quick performance. And because we're GitLab and we love to help you guys out, one of the nice things about since we created this bubble, we Dockerized your code, now we're going to burst it. We're going to burst it so it's not so it doesn't take any space. So if you're going to your next environment, you're going to the cloud, now it's all cleaned up for you. Isn't that great? All right, so here's the pipeline view. Once again, this is Ultimate Auto DevOps. Now let's go into what the merge request looks like in that Ultimate. This is where the magic happens. So you committed your code, you have your information of what's going on. Now you can find all the details about where it's going and what's going on. So one thing I want to show is this is the screen. So this is the screen where everything is. Notice it's all in one spot. So I'm going to expand and you can see more of that deep dive and we'll go through that. But everything here is in one spot. So think about how you're doing it. Maybe you're looking for a change. Maybe you're trying to have some tool consolidation. This is the screen that I really think is probably the best thing about the Ultimate tier. It's all in one place. You have your pipeline, you have your test automation, you have your compliance, you have your code quality, your vulnerabilities, and once again, back into the license compliance. Now let me dive right into what that looks like. So I showed you our Auto DevOps pipeline visual. Here it is in the merge request. Green means good. You see all the passing. And then we had a test automation. So we included test automation into our pipeline. So every time you commit code, you automatically run a quick Selenium test. So let me show you what that looks like. So here is a quick Selenium test into our Python code. This is an open source tool called Robot Framework. You can actually click in here and find out what's going on. You see we did a valid login, we did some invalid things, a happy path, unhappy path. You can actually see this live. So imagine how you're doing it today. Are you able to see your test results this quickly? And if you want this, this is the way to go. So have your test artifacts auto-populate into your merge request. This helps with collaboration between developers and testers. All right, now let's bring him back over to compliance. Let's drop this down. Now you can also see this in our premium tier, but there's a little extras in our ultimate tier, including our vulnerability check and our license check. So it's going to go through, it's going to say, hey, I see these vulnerabilities. You might have some approvals. Right now we have some optional approvals, but you can change this to your organization's configuration. Another nice thing to point out is our code owners. So code owners is like a guide to who's the who of approval. You don't need everyone approving everything. If, like example, your vulnerability check, if you have everyone going through and looking at the vulnerabilities, that's just a waste of their time and yours. So this is a great way to say, okay, maybe the security team is going to check the vulnerability checks and have the ability to do so easily. All right, let me go down and expand this slowly. All right. Now Now, I hope when you were looking at that, you were saying how easy it was in one spot. So now we have already talked about our pipeline, we've looked at our test automation, we looked at our compliance. Now we're going to dive into that code quality. At the beginning of our coffee chat, I talked about how you could see the code quality live. So if you turn in code and you had awful code, you're going to be able to see it before everyone else does. So right now, I committed code. It says, hey, your code quality degraded. So now it tells you in the services Python doc, if you line 42, if you remove it, you will have that code quality back. So it gives you that instant feedback of what's going on with your code and how to make it well or how to make it good again. Now here's your vulnerabilities. So you have the ability to see your vulnerabilities at enterprise level. You have the ability to see it at dashboard level within your project. Now you have the ability to see it at pipeline level. So we ran our pipeline. Here's all the vulnerabilities it found. A quick summary of 4 critical, 24 high, and 144 others. But it doesn't stop there. You can actually deep dive into what vulnerability analyzers found, what was going on, if it had been dismissed. Well, let me show you. So right now you have your SAST, your dependencies scanner, your container scanner, and also your DAST. I love DAST anyway. And so it tells you the severity, it tells you the vulnerability, and it tells you if it's been fixed or not, or dismissed. So you'll see right here, some of these are new. It'll have the severity, it'll have what is the vulnerability. So you can click on this, and within seconds, it tells you exactly what's going on, who created the issue. It gives you that feedback without you having to dive back and forth into it. And also, if you want to dismiss it, if you want to create an issue or have some action taken on it, you can easily do it by clicking a button. Everything is simple and right there for you to figure out. So right here, we have our SAST, we have our vulnerabilities. We're diving in our dependency. It says this is new and high. One has been dismissed and one has not. So you can actually click on this and figure out what's going on. And we can also go down here and see we have the same thing for container as well as DAST. Another nice thing is before we have a feature called auto compliance. So it goes in, looks for your licenses, looks for your dependency, builds this beautiful dashboard for your organization to put their own policies on. We have already added our policies, but now you can see we have a denied out of compliance policy as well as our allowed policies for our licenses. So here we have a CC0 that's out of compliance. So now you're going to have somebody approve this before it goes to the next state because it found that. But just having the ability to have your compliance within your code, within having to change and go into 17 different UIs. There was a point in my career when I keep saying 17 because I counted one day how many UIs I had to go through to get that end-to-end testing with vulnerabilities, with code quality, with test automation, and it was 17 UIs. And because nothing came together, I had to copy and paste it into an Excel spreadsheet. Let me tell you, I will not go back to that. This is the way to go. So hopefully you have enjoyed this very quick, speedy merge request deep dive and coffee chat. I hope you had a lovely coffee chat, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Have a nice day. Bye.